Не в Джонсоне, Конгрессом руководит не спикер Джонсон.
The issue is not with Johnson. Speaker Johnson is not the one who's running Congress. Marjorie Taylor Greene is running Congress. Everyone is afraid of her.
Yo, I've been calling this crazy lady Moscow Marge for weeks, and I gotta say, as bad as that clip was, it feels so good to be so right.
Feels good. Feels right.
Because you know when Russian TV is praising you in such glowing terms.
Woman Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene is proposing for the U.S. to withdraw from NATO. She believes that Americans should help Putin win.
You might be an asset. Like in this next example where she wraps up her Kremlin-funded PowerPoint about white nationalism in Ukraine, only to get absolutely eviscerated by Yale history professor and Ukraine expert Timothy Snyder.
So when you want to talk about misinformation, Mr. Snyder, you might actually look a little closer to American media if you don't like what they're saying.
On the question of Ukrainian nationalism, I am the leading scholar of that subject in North America and have been writing about it for 20 years. If the chamber is interested in the degree of far-right participation in Ukrainian politics, you can be assured that no far-right party has ever crossed 3% in Ukrainian election.
I'm just going to pause your viewing for a quick second to ask you to make sure you're subscribed to the channel. You hit that like button down below and the bell notification. It really helps the channel and we appreciate it. Back to it.
So of course there are bad people in every country, but by any comparative standard is a very small phenomenon. In Russia, on the other hand, the army includes openly Nazi formations, such as Rusich. The government itself is fascist in character, and it is carrying out a war which includes deportation of children by the tens of thousands, the open intention of destroying a state, as well as mass torture. So if we're looking for fascism, and if there is anyone who is sincerely concerned about halting fascism or racism, you would wish to halt Russia.
But Marjorie doesn't wish to halt Russia. This is the same dipstick that literally sells defund the FBI merch, though soon she'll probably be selling MAGA Ushankas.
But this is the sellout of America today.
The only one selling out America is you Kremlin see you next Tuesday.
Ukraine is not even a member of NATO. Ukraine is not a member of NATO. But the most important thing you hear in Washington, D.C. is, oh, we have to spend Americans' hard-earned tax dollars over to Ukraine and keep the money going to continue to murder Ukrainians, wipe out an entire generation of Ukrainian men so that there are widows, there are fatherless orphans, there are not enough men to work in their industries. Oh, but you really support Ukraine.
What a deranged dumbass. Can someone please put her in her place?
Speaker, I want to focus on one argument of the sponsor of this amendment, who's basically saying that if we pass this bill, we are advocating the killing of Ukrainians. That is a uniquely demented way of looking at this war. Putin invades. Putin, as we speak, is bombing and killing Ukrainian civilians. And the only thing that is reducing the number that he can kill is the Ukrainians' ability to fight back. So to look at this from a pure Russian propaganda standpoint, they invade, they bomb, they kill, and it's our fault for helping the Ukrainians defend themselves. That is the argument here against supporting Ukraine, and it literally makes no sense.
What do you mean it makes no sense? This clearly very strong argument from Agent Grinovich. You send money Ukraine, it make Putin very upset. You don't want to see him when he get angry.
If you want peace, give the Ukrainians the strength to stop Putin. He is the one that will not come to the bargaining table right now because he thinks he's winning. He thinks he can go all the way to Kyiv. He thinks he can take the whole country. If we give the Ukrainians the ability to stop him, that forces him to the table. It makes no sense to say that giving the Ukrainians the ability to defend themselves is what's killing them, when it is very clearly the Russians that are killing them.
Agent Grinovich, you must get microphone away from Baldman. He is ruining operation. Make it about some money.
And I would also note that no president has added more to the deficit in one 4-year, or the debt, sorry, in one 4-year term than President Trump. And I didn't hear a single Republican complaining about the debt or the deficit during that period of time. The Ukrainians need our help to bring peace, to stop Putin, to stop what he is trying to do.
Yeah, Moscow MAGA Republicans aren't the brightest of the bunch. They can't even properly push Putin's agenda, which is why this finally happened.
On this vote, the ayes are 311 and the nays are 112. The bill is passed. Oh, one voting present. I missed it, but thank you. Okay. The House will be in order.
And that was the House of Representatives actually passing the bill for aid to Ukraine and other allies. Yes, that is a victory, and we should all be happy that an aid bill, or well, any bill at all, finally passed the House.
It's a brave step, but at the same time, why it took too long for aid to Ukraine, and maybe too long, why you decided to do it right now?
Listen, the House had a lot of important work to do here. We got to this as quickly as we could. This is being done on a timely basis, and the House had to have the time to deliberate and do this in the right manner.
Right, the House had to have time to deliberate, which is an interesting way of saying delay and deflect.
And then he did this bullshit in here on the House floor, foreign war package that does nothing for America. It's unbelievable.
It's baffling to hear her complain about how sending aid to American allies doesn't help America, but I guess not as baffling as the fact that she's able to get herself dressed every day.
Also, to Ms. McCollum's point, this also helps our industrial base. We face a dangerous world between Russia, Iran, China, North Korea, all of whom are working together, by the way. If we don't help Ukraine stop Russia, that helps Iran, that helps China, that helps North Korea. This is about our national security, which I am quite confident that whether asleep or awake, the American people also care dearly about.
But clearly, that type of logic is too advanced to get through her thick skull. Or maybe she just didn't hear it through her thick hat.
When we had members of Congress in there waving the Ukrainian flag on the United States House of Representatives floor, while we're doing nothing to secure our border.
Oh, come off it already. If she says border one more time, I think she needs to make a pilgrimage back to Georgia from Venezuela. You won't stop dog whistling about the border despite you being the person that won't do anything about the border on behalf of Russia's other greatest asset.
No, but think of it. Here's a guy who's very savvy. I know him very well. Very, very well. So Putin is now saying it's independent, a large section of Ukraine. I said, how smart is that? And he's going to go in and be a peacekeeper. That's the strongest peace force. We could use that on our southern border.
We accomplished bipartisan border security. And you know what? It was Donald Trump who said, don't give Biden a win.
I think every American in this country should be furious. Who's going to vote for these people? How can you vote for these people? They don't serve our country.
And there it is, the ultimate projection. How can anyone vote for you, Marge, when you clearly don't even work for our own country?
Woman Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene is proposing for the U.S. to withdraw from NATO. She believes that Americans should help Putin win.
Thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so you get alerted when we drop new videos. And if you can, we greatly appreciate your support either here or on Patreon. We're a grassroots funded channel, and your support allows us not only to make videos calling out the stupidity and hypocrisy of Russian assets, but also to make sure, to Dairy Queen's point, that they don't get elected back into positions of power. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse, and I'll see you guys in the next one.